Detroit basketball, Pistons fans alike, Pacers fans, I feel for y'all. Y'all got us tonight. Yo, I want to dive into the preview for this game. There's a lot of injuries, a lot of guys out on both sides. These are one of those games that it really just comes down to heart and culture and identity. Your talent is out. You got to make do with what you got. And I think there's going to be a lot of things that we can look for both sides. Benedict Mathurin could be back tonight, questionable. Aaron Neesmith is gone, right? What's his name? Andrew Nemhard still running the show. TJ McConnell. Indiana's got talent. Detroit might be getting Jalen Duren back tonight. Maybe. Says probable. Then you got Cade, you got Asar, you got Sass, all listed as questionable, right? So who knows by the time jump ball hits, but I'm going to go through what I expect from this game, what I'm looking for from this game, because it should be interesting. There's a lot to look for. But before I dive into that, as always, smash the like button for me. Hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. Look, it's a little thing for y'all. It's a little tap, right? Like, subscribe, hitting the bell, maybe share it. Going a little bit extra. For those of you who share these videos, yo, kudos to you. I appreciate y'all big time because that's above and beyond. That's the stuff that I try to do for local YouTube channels. You know, it's just a little bit something to give their channel a boost because we all know how the algorithms push like mainstream and they want y'all to hear the narratives that they want y'all to hear. But for the local cats, yo, I support the hell out of them. I share, I watch their videos, even if I ain't even watching it. I'll just play it in the background on mute just to help the algorithm, right? So I appreciate all the love and support. Whoever smashed the like button for me, kudos to you. Salute to you. Appreciate y'all. Let's dive into this game. You know what? This will forever be a rivalry. Detroit Pistons, Indiana Pacers. Just too much damn history. Just too much history. Too much. Whether it was Tayshaun Prince with a chase down block on Reggie Miller, right? Preventing them from getting back to the finals. Whether it was, Malice in the Palace, Ben Wallace, Ron Artest, right? Jermaine O'Neal, folks having to go into the stands, Steven Jackson, Jamal Tinsley. If I'm honest, that was a championship squad. It was. And if I'm also honest, Ben Wallace was kind of out of pocket. I'm a big Ben fan, but he was out of pocket. He was tripping, right? There was something going on at home, right? Something happened. He wasn't in the best space. He started messing. He getting upset with Ron. Ron like, bro, man, I ain't even on it today, man. I'm not even on it today, all right? Ron trying to bring his mental in. And Big Ben want to start something. Next, the fans, it is what it is. And then you have, fast forward, you have two teams on two very different trajectories. Indiana Pacers stay competitive over the years. Domantas Sabonis, a great pickup. Victor Oladipo, they have that kind of rendition of themselves. They do their best. I mean, they have the David West, Roy Hibbert, what's his name? Paul George renditions of themselves, Danny Granger. They have different eras. And the Pistons, well, we were struggling, bro. We were struggling. So it was a period of time where this rivalry didn't matter as much. And then Jaden Ivey and Benedict Mathurin drafted right after each other. Many times I think fans were on both sides of who we should potentially draft. Was it Mathurin? It was a bit more polished. Ivey, who definitely had a higher ceiling. And both looked like killers. Both look legit. Both also have holes in their game that are legitimate too. But it's to say that rekindled the rivalry. Then you saw them in the Rising Stars game. Yo, they went at it. So then you fast forward a couple years later, and all of a sudden you have Asar Thompson and Jarris Walker. Now, personally, before that draft, at first, I was all for Jarris Walker. You can go back in the video annals. You'll see I was like, Jarris Walker is legit. Yo, he was like something like Ron Artest meets Draymond Green. That's who Jarris Walker is for me. And unfortunately, in Indiana, it's one of those terms Slam Magazine used to use, unfairly gets bench splinters. It's one of those situations. They had a lot of depth at his position. Pascal Siakam, Obi Toppin, They just had a lot of guys. Isaiah Jackson, they didn't have any room for him, and so as a result, he got sent to the G League. Now maybe it was to help him refine his jumper, which he has, but I think it took something out of him. I think it took something out of him. A very competitive player, and all of a sudden you're like, man, I don't get a chance to compete for Rookie of the Year. I don't get a chance to compete to be on the All Rookie team, Rising Stars game, right? Like you all are determining my destiny and not giving me a chance. Why did you draft me if you weren't going to give me a chance to really ball out and show what I can do? But that's how Indiana kind of works. Johnny Furphy kind of going through a similar situation as well, right? They keep playing this dude, Ben Shepherd. I don't know why. I don't know why. Maybe he shows up tonight, knock on wood. Hey, but not a big fan of Ben Shepherd. But, some guys get burned and some guys don't. We ended up taking Asar Thompson. And as soon as I started hearing rumbles about Asar, something was like, yo, just peek this dude out. Check him out. And as soon as I did, bro, I was like, yo, my bad. I pulled a J. Cole in the middle of the Kendrick Drake beef. I was like, whoa, my bad. I saw this wrong. Tripping. I'm going to go sit down. And that's what I had to do in that draft. I said, you know what? I thought it was Jarris Walker. I thought he was him. I still think he's dope. But Asar Thompson is different, bro. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take a sit. I'm going to sit back, take a seat. And the rest has been history. Asar Thompson has been legit. He is legitimately one of the top 5 best defenders in the NBA right now. Without a jump shot, without all the offense that we would love him to have, right now, all defense. All defense. It's Wemby, maybe Evan Mobley, Asar Thompson. I can't think of another defender out there I would rather have. If I need a game-changing defender to go out there, cause havoc, get us the ball, get us the rebound, get us the block, get us the steal, get us the deflection, get us the loose ball, get us in transition, make the plays. If I got a 2-minute stretch, he's in those 3. I've seen him do things, bro. Come in the game, we're down 6. There's a minute and a half to go, 2 straight steals. Sandro, I like Dyson Daniels, Caruso, and Dort as well. I wouldn't take any of them over Asar because I don't think any of them have the athleticism, the positional size at 6'7" with a 7-foot wingspan, or the verticality to meet you up top. Like Dyson Daniels will get the steals. Dort, Caruso as well. Caruso might meet you up top, go for the block, but he's 6'5". Right? 6'8" wingspan. 6'7", 6'8" wingspan. That's not 6'7", 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan. J-Dub, no, I wouldn't put him in this category either. I'm talking about when it matters the most, goes out and makes the play. All that's to say is this rivalry is real because not just the past in terms of big games, brawls, etc., playoffs, but also the current present of these roster constructions. There's a lot of competitive juices. Now, let me just also say they're in our division. These wins matter when they're in your division. This is people down the block, around the corner, around the way, right? You got relatives rooting on both sides. You might have family members who are married from both sides, right? Pistons fan, Indiana Pacers fan, I don't know how they got together, right? Match made in heaven. The kids are split. One son gets to be a Pistons fan. The other son gets to be a Pacers fan, right? I don't know. But that's how close the proximity is. These games matter. Now, the game today. There's a few things that I'm looking for. I generally stay a little bit more focused on the Detroit Pistons than other teams. I think the Pacers are on pace. See what I did there? On pace to maximize their lottery selection. They're looking at AJ DeBonsa. They're looking at Darren Peterson. They're looking at Michael Brown. They're looking at Senac in Houston, who just balled out against Auburn. Right? They're looking at everybody. Cam Boozer. Looking at all of them. And saying, look, we just want to get one. If they get one of those top 5 selections, maybe even top 6, 7, 8. I just seen the other dude balling with CNAC, the point guard. I think it's Freeman, something like that. Freeman, Freeway, something like that. That boy was balling. He looked like legit. He looked legit. He looked like a lottery. He looked like what we say Michael Brown is over in Louisville, right? Like the 6'3", athletic, can get downhill north and south, point guard who can run the show, drop dimes, hit threes, big shots, create his own shot, like get to the cup, finish with both. Like he just looked legit. I was like, yo, we got to add him to the discussion. Can't wait for Draft Junkies to do a thing. Shout out to them, the 2 brothers who do Draft Junkies. Haven't seen the other brother, but I hope we get them back soon. But they're a great channel to go check out draft content from. All I to say is he looks like he's added to it also. And Indiana looks dedicated to getting one of those top 5, 6 picks. And it's smart. You're going to have Tyrese Halliburton back next year. Whoever you get is going to give you a lot of roster and cap flexibility. In other words, if you get Darren Peterson, Benedict Mathurin, sign and trade, you're easily out the door, bro. If you get AJ DeBonsa, Jarris Walker, you're expendable. You're playing out of position anyways. You should be a power forward. Everybody knows that. Right? You have so much opportunity. So I think Indiana, they don't mind playing upset. They also don't mind losing, which means they don't mind folding it in, playing some of the younger guys, which will give us a clear competitive advantage. Now, let's also keep in mind that Dennis Jenkins balls out against G Leaguers. He balls out against third stringers. And he looks really solid against starters. What I'm looking for now that the scouting report is out on Dennis Jenkins is, can he be consistent? Can he be consistent? The scouting report is getting released. It's getting released. I want to see what you do if Jalen Duren is back tonight, which it sounds like he should be. He's probable, right? I want to see what you could do alongside Cade and Asar. Both are questionable. Illicit Sassarat questionable also, which is interesting. But it's to say, what can you do playing with more talent, more expectation, and a report out on you? Things to take away. Look, I'll be clear about Dennis Jenkins. Great at getting downhill. Great open shooter. He's clutch, fearless, a lot of confidence. Good in transition, great speed, plays great at the point of attack defensively and help defense. He's also really good at setting the table, making good decisions. 4-to-1 assist to turnover ratio in the starting lineup. It's damn good. Not the best shot creator. When it comes to creating a shot in the mid-range, not the best. He's got that little bump, little step back, baseline pull up. It's been hit or miss. He trusts it. That's his move, but it's hit or miss. I haven't seen much of a floater game. Haven't seen much of a pull up in the paint, push shot. Not too much interior post footwork. He does sometimes dribble into traffic, double and triple teams. Gets in a little bit of trouble there. Doesn't really get caught in the air, but he will get caught under the rim instead of keeping his dribble live. Teams are going to start trying to push him into more uncomfortable positions. And Andrew Nembhard is just the type of point guard to read the scouting report and be locked in to do that. Can you keep it up, Dennis Jenkins? I'm hopeful and I'm optimistic. I think the team wants to see it from you. But can you? Here's the other part of it. And I've been saying this for a while. The NBA, one of the greatest positions of need right now is point guard. Legitimate point guards who can run the show, facilitate, get the ball where it needs to go, and hit shots. It's almost like swinging back on the other end of the pendulum. It used to be ball dominant, score first point guards, the Russell Westbrooks, Derrick Rose, Stephen Curry's. You got John Wall. You got these very dynamic, athletic guards. Then you've got, the solid guys. I mean, of course, you got Chris Paul, uh, Kyrie, right? You got these like dominant scorers. And then you've kind of got these guys that are just, solid. I mean, you got LaMelo Ball, but he's always hurt, and Jalen Brunson is trying to do his best. And, then all of a sudden you get Tyrese Halliburton. And all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, actually looks good when somebody can get other people involved and make them better. But then now when you go through rosters outside of guys like Trae Young, you got a lot of teams who just don't have a guard who can run the show, whether it's the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, you got a decent guard in Boston, Derek White. He's not exactly lighting the world on fire or making any all-star teams anytime soon. Cleveland, Darius Garland, but he's always hurt as well. Chicago, Josh Giddey, but still unproven. It's the first season we're actually getting to see him with expectations. And outside of getting his ankle broke, he's put up good stats. Do the stats translate to wins? We don't know. There's a lot of question marks. Washington Wizards don't have a point guard. CJ McCollum is aging out, right? There's a lot of questions. Damian Lillard's getting old, aging out. There's a new era of point guard that there's plenty of space to take up. Minnesota Timberwolves need one. Orlando's still rolling out Anthony Black, trying to see if he could be one because Jalen Suggs is really not it, right? You have a lot of these teams. Philly has a Tyrese Maxey, but is he really setting the table, making others better? Right? There's a lot to still question when it comes to the NBA point guard. Who is going to be this next generation, next era? And Dennis Jenkins, let's be frank, if he can continue with a 4-to-1 assist to turnover ratio and scoring double digits, 15 to 20 points a game as a starter, and plays great defense, another team's going to be looking at him like, bro, we could use that. We could use that in our starting lineup right now. Tell me Minnesota couldn't use that right now. Tell me Orlando. Tell me Brooklyn. Tell me some of the other teams wouldn't want that right now. So there's a lot for Dennis Jenkins to prove, a lot of opportunity for him. Can he continue to do it? We got Indiana tonight, Atlanta tomorrow. And I'll talk about that tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of challenge for him to do it. Let's see. Jalen Duren, if you come back tonight. If you come back tonight, I think you start alongside a Beef Stew. I think that becomes a starting lineup. Now, somebody said they saw Beef Stew kind of grab his hamstring. I haven't seen anything, or not his hamstring, but it seemed like he had a sore muscle or something, like he was gimping a little bit. Who knows? I'll say this. If Beef Stew is healthy, you start him alongside Jalen Duren. You just do. That's the front court of the future. You keep them together, lockstep, let them continue to build that chemistry. And let's see if Dennis Jenkins can run that show between the two of them. Hitting the pick and pop with Stu, hitting the pick and roll with Duren, getting those guys involved. What if he can help those two get off and have a big game? That would be special if Stu and Duren have big games. And Dennis Jenkins is sitting there with 12, 13 assists again and knocking down threes, right? Great at the point of attack, containing the ball, knowing you got Stu and Duren behind you, right? Like defensively, what do they do collaboratively? What do they do? That could be special. Then all of a sudden you got Paul Reed and Ron Holland coming off the bench, which I think is best for the both of them. Really solidify that front court. That could be really interesting. We're still going to have D-Rob, not Duncan Robinson no more. You get a nickname when you balling out in Detroit. You D-Rob now. You D-Rob. All right? D-Rob. We're going to call you Rob, D-Money, D-Shakes, D3. Right? We're going to have a whole bunch of nicknames for you, Duncan Robinson. But if you ball out, you in the starting lineup. Until Ivy gets back, that's you. And then we got who I think JB Bickerstaff has trusted the most, Javonte Green. Now, if Cade Cunningham's back, Javonte's back to the bench with Karis LeVert. But it would be interesting to see who starts if Cade Cunningham is back between Javante Green and Dennis Jenkins. Does Dennis Jenkins go to the reserve role? Does he start? I'm curious what you all think, right? If Cade Cunningham is back, who would you start? Dennis Jenkins or Javante Green? They give you two different things. What do you think? Do they bring back Cade alongside of Jenkins and then just stagger them? What do you think? Let me get to some of these comments. Sandro, what's good in the chat? Amin or Asar, who is better on defense in your opinion? Amin is more athletic, I think, but Asar has a more old man strength. So it's a flip of the coin for me personally. I completely agree. I would go with Asar because I feel like he's accepted more of that's his role. Amin Thompson is still great on defense, but he has a bigger role offensively. Let me see. Frank Nitty was good in the chat. Slight edge to Asar over Amen. I would too. I also think Asar's a little bit taller than Amen Thompson as well. Um, Sandro, can you tell me why? Yeah, the grown man strength definitely and more locked in, showing that versatility. Um, she's what up though? Chilla 5174. Um, Sandro, what is the best center in the league that Duran can actually play elite defense against? Personally, I think it's someone on the level of Shangoon, maybe slightly below, but that's just me. Duran can actually play elite defense against. I don't think Duran is an elite defender at all. I think that he benefits highly from Stewart and Asar and other guys insulating him. He's one of those guys who it's almost like when Nikola Jokic has a really good defensive rating, but that's because he's sandwiched next to Aaron Gordon and other defenders, and he just plays smart, right? Doesn't do things that he shouldn't do. Doesn't get himself in trouble. I think when Duran's not getting himself in trouble by picking up cheap fouls, he looks great because then he could just maintain verticality on blocks, get a block on the weak side, grab some rebounds, and um, he gets a lot of accolades for that, which is weird because people are starting to like, oh, he's all defensive. I'm like, y'all don't even know how to understand stats, bro. Like, that's not how you read the stats, man. Like, you got 3 blocks. That's dope. But if you put him out there on an island without other great defenders around him, is he still a good defender? No, he's gonna struggle. He's getting better, but he's not that. It's weird when you hear people talk about that and they're like, he's an elite defender. You just look at him, just be like, oh, yeah, I guess you don't really watch the games. You know what I mean? So all to say is, but on this team, he looks really good when he's sandwiched between Stu, guys like Ron, Dennis, Cade, Asar, right? When he's insulated, he looks really good. Let me see. Some of these other Frank Nitty, Asar, maybe 10 pounds heavier. Yep, definitely a little stronger, takes more chances. Yep, I mean it's good. Okay, that's that communicates. Let me see. Stephanie Williams, 168. Yo, what is good? I haven't seen you in a while. I would say Asar is better. Okay, y'all continuing that conversation. Um, double elated. Jenkins been playing like a 2K career player. You know what? That's a great point. Double elated. It's a great point. Sandro Rock, what do you think? Is Bickerstaff worst and best trait as a coach? I don't know. I don't know. The reason why I say I don't know is because you're still so new. And there's been so much fluctuation. There hasn't been enough consistency to really evaluate. I don't evaluate coaches based upon um, when you have a whole bunch of injuries and also a lot of roster fluctuation. At the same time, I do appreciate that he gets great buy-in. He has a clear system. He's been able to create an identity with this team. Communicates well with the players. He seems to be developing them. He gets a lot of buy-in from the veterans as well as young guys, which is kind of hard to do. He has his team believing. I can't really criticize much because I'm just like, what isn't he doing right or well at this point? I think I would have to evaluate Bickerstaff. I would say a B plus. The A minus is like what you do in the playoffs. I thought there were more opportunities in the playoffs to make some adjustments, but he was feeling it out. He didn't know what he had. Um, some stuff is preference, but I also you have to keep in mind like there's a million different roads. There are infinite roads to winning. He chose his. How well are you doing in the road that you chose? So far, damn good. So Bickerstaff, damn good. Let me see. Mega Hustler, what's good? Pistons showed a lot of maturity this season. Last couple of seasons, they played down to the bad teams. That is true in that regard. This season, Pistons going for blood, a sign of growth. You know what? Tonight will be a great testament to that. Mega Hustle, that's a great point. Tonight will be a testament to just that. Can they keep their pedal to the metal, right? All gas, no brakes. Can they come out with energy? Can they be locked in against the Pacers who have been decimated by injuries? Can they show that they are someone who is reliable, consistent, will do the little things, right? These are the marks of a good team. That's what these games test you in. How locked in are you to being professional, right? Setting your feet to set a screen, waiting for the screen to set, right? Like that's a whole other thing. Are you going to wait for the screen to get set? Or are you just going to, get overzealous, over anxious? K, Dennis, Karras, Ivy, Asar, can you be patient so that the screener doesn't get caught for a moving screen because they're, not in position yet and you went too soon? Or you're trying to stick your hip out during, right? Like stuff like that. Like, can you do the little things? Are you boxing out instead of just looking up for the rebound? Are you making a play for the offensive or defensive rebound, Ron Holland, or being glued to the floor, moving without the ball? Extra efforts, getting out of transition. Can you do the little things that it takes to win? Make the hockey assist, extra pass, right? Play with confidence, know your role, trust your teammates on defense to make the rotation. Don't just bail out the offense with a cheap foul, right? That's what I'm looking for, Mega Hustler, in this game. Those are the signs that, we are maturing. Detroit Red was good. I would keep Green in the lineup, a bigger defender than Dennis Jenkins. That's true. Green starts, Jenkins runs the offense when Cade rests. W late. Okay. I see what y'all think. Let me see. Rashad Walker was good. Yeah, so I would say for sure, I like both of those arguments. Um, Javonte Green does bring that perimeter defensive pop that I think alleviates a lot of that pressure from Cade to have to be the point of attack defender. And if you got Javonte at the point of attack, Cade on the wing, insulated with Stu, Duran, I like it. I'm not mad at it at all. That's likely probably what we end up seeing tonight against the Indiana Pacers. And Dennis Jenkins running the show off the bench, dope. I think that would also, especially if Duran is back and Stu and them are in the starting lineup, that would make sense to maintain the continuity with Dennis, Ron Holland, Karis Levert, and Paul Reed. Let me see what else we got up in here. Sandro Rock, remember when I said that the Pistons would be the number one seed last year? Yes, sir. I was correct. You know what, Sandro, you did say that. I thought that shit was crazy. So far, so good, bro. Let me see. Rashad Walker. A couple of mental situations this week. Can they beat an undermanned team tonight, knowing they are undermanned? True. Number two, will they get over Giannis's hump? Those are some great points, Rashad Walker. Are you a journalist? Those are some great talking points. I think that is definitely at the top of the list. Mentally, are they going to be locked in? Are the Pistons going to be locked in? And namely, guys like Jalen Duren. Are you mentally locked in? This is a game where you should impose your will and be dominant. This is a 2020 game, right? Like these are the games that really say a lot about you. Not only how you do when you get really up for a big game, but these games where a team is undermanned and you're like, I got us, guys. I got us. I'm locked in. Not that you're shooting every time, but you know that we want you to take about 15 shots at least. So that breaks down to anywhere between 3 to 4 shots every quarter. That means consistent aggression, getting to the free throw line, right? Getting 9 to 10 free throws at the free throw line, dominating on the glass, hitting the offensive boards, not picking up cheap fouls, knowing that we're looking to you to carry the offense and make the game easy for the rest of us. These are the games where you go, wow, okay, Duran is a day in, day out guy, not just a lot of potential guy. Cade Cunningham, can you get Please somehow get rid of those slow starts. Oh God, please get rid of these slow starts. They're so annoying. And let's see if Asar is back tonight. I would love for Asar to be back tonight. If he is, Cade Cunningham, give up the ball to Asar and let him bring the ball up, bro. Let him bring it up. Let him bring it up. Conserve your energy. Dominate on offense between you and Duran. We should be able to put the Pacers away quickly. But that's if you're locked in. If you're mentally locked in. Let me see. Double elated. I like those last two wins for our guys. When just a game before people were saying Cade got no one to pass it to. Our guy said that's cap and came out and balled out 100%. 100%. JB empowered them. They looked ready and they handled business. Rashad Walker, don't take Indiana for granted like Chicago did, y'all. Hey, that's real talk. Is it just me inside? Yo, what's good? Do we win tonight after the Nasty Dogs hype? Um, I think so. I think we pull it out. Even if we're not locked in. If we're not locked in, I'm gonna be on their ass, like real talk. But if they are locked in, I also expect um, us to run away with it. We should. This should be a double-digit win. Should be a double-digit, comfortably double-digit win. We should see the bench guys, Tolu Smith, get some burn. Bobby Clintman, I heard he had an ankle. That's what it looked like on the scouting report, or the injury report. Hopefully he's available. Get some playing time. Chaz in there should be getting playing time. Dennis Jenkins should get you another 25 to 30 minutes because we handled business. Let me see. Shaw Walker, is Duran and Cade back tonight or will they play tomorrow? It says so. That's a good question because it will be a back to back. They've had a lot of time off, almost a full week. Uh, it says Duran is probable. That's what I read, and that Cade Cunningham is questionable. Um, I hope we get them all back. Asar as well. Cade, Asar, and Duran. And I don't mind them playing the back to back because we get 3 days off before the next game on Saturday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then we play Saturday. So let them hoop. Let them hoop. And we got depth. We know we have depth now with Dennis, Karras, Javante, Ron, and Paul Reed, B-Ball, Paul, right? So there's no reason why we should just be leaning on Cade and Duran. Our bench can get the job done too. We know that. Let me see. Sandro, I think the last time the Pistons beat the Bucks was in early 2022. No, it was further back than that. That's crazy. That is the year we beat them, get over the hump. Let me see. Detroit Red. I think Cade should go to posting up more if his outside shot isn't falling. Not just posting up. I think he needs to do that Paul Pierce where he's getting the ball at the free throw line. That's what he needs to be doing. JB, I need to see. That is something I want to see more from JB Bickerstaff. Draw up plays that gets Cade and Duran the ball, right where they need it to get an easy look. That is a real skill as a coach. How you can make the game easy for your superstars. Maybe that was the critique in Cleveland. Doesn't seem like he made the game easy for Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. Can he do that? Or is it just system? Just run the system and you're supposed to fall into these shots. Because that's not always the case. Right now, Cade works damn hard for his buckets. He should not be working this hard. Period. He should not be working this hard. Duran, too. They should be getting at least 3 to 5 shots a game off of ran set plays. That gets them great looks. Great, not just good looks, great looks. And eventually, as the season goes on and teams adjust to it, now you have secondary action out of it. That gets someone else a great look because of the gravity just from that play. Not Cade's or Duran's individual offensive exploits. So I need to see that, JB Bigstaff. Let me see. Jaden Ivey gets reevaluated today. Dope. Hopefully this brings good news. I hope so too. Genuinely. Pacers are good at beating teams that are more talented than them. So yeah. But I think the Pistons will and should win. Me too, Sandro. And they haven't been good at beating teams more talented this season. They've struggled big time. Okay, let me get to the word of the day. Word of the day. Word of the day. I want to give you all a little bit of knowledge about relationships. This is just stuff that I found over the years. Um, in my work with couples and stuff like that. What up, Jerome Passmore? Please go check out the live. I'm wrapping it up now. Hope you enjoy the word of the day. Tell y'all something about relationships. Many times people struggle in relationships. Now, let me just get to the heart of the matter. People build really unhealthy relationships out of these ideas of what love is. And many times, love is shrouded in a suppression of one's own identity, needs, thoughts, values, desires. And they think that somehow suppressing themselves, being less, shrinking, is somehow giving more space to the other person. This is like a scarcity mindset. It's very prevalent in the Western, countries, Europe, European countries, United States, right? We have this like romantic notion that there's only a limited amount of space, a limited amount of resources out there. And so if I give someone what I have access to, it's the loving thing. Instead of that, there's an abundance of space for all of us, and that we each can stand on our needs, desires, and wants, and that there's more than enough. And so many of us start relationships in that manner, sacrificing, assuming the other person wants us to sacrifice, assuming the other person is receiving or valuing, observing, or even noticing the sacrifices that you're making, shrinking yourself, holding on to, reserving, not speaking up, not communicating, not showing up for, being less, so that somehow unconsciously, indirectly, passively, the other person receives more. It's one of the worst ways to start a relationship. What ends up happening is that behavior begins to become modeled on both sides, and both people are shrinking. Both people are suppressing. Both people aren't communicating, aren't showing up for, aren't letting the other person know their desires and wants, and they end up going years with unmet needs, uncommunicated desires. And they're operating in this idea of themselves instead of the authentic, genuine person that they are. As a result, many times that is only so sustainable. And eventually you hit a breaking point. Enough stress, enough frustrations. And all of a sudden, someone goes, you know what? Here's the truth. Here's this other part of me I've been shrinking and suppressing. And then all of a sudden, the other person feels shocked, caught off guard. Most of the time, it's communicated at the worst moment when you're frustrated. And so then it comes out with an energy that doesn't allow the other person to really receive. They just feel attacked. They get defensive. They build walls. And all of a sudden now you feel even more rejected because now you've communicated the true you only to have that rejected. And really, we have built up a normalcy around not showing up for ourselves, not being authentic, not being genuine within the relationship. And we mask it as love that's really shrouded in scarcity. That becomes one of the greatest impediment to two individuals forming a genuine and authentic relationship where they can both thrive. I believe that really what's needed is both people to show up authentically 100% of the time as much as possible and allow the other person to choose to adjust to the real them. It's almost like people say, like, if you aim for the stars, you land on the moon. Aim for the moon, you aim on the mountaintops. You aim for the mountaintops, you land on the hills. Aim on the hills, you're right back where you started. If I show you all of me, I maximize your ability to accept, either in the moment or over time, a maximal amount of me. If I only show you 80% of me, well, maybe you'll accept 50 to 60% of me. And then over time, maybe another 10 to 15%. But then you're still at 70. And then if I show you 50% of me, right, you get the point. We hold on to these parts of ourselves and then we don't allow people to actually embrace who we are. And then we feel rejected and isolated within a relationship with someone who we genuinely love and want to see us, but we're the ones not showing up and allowing ourselves to be seen. I challenge each of y'all to show up for yourselves. Let yourself be seen. Be authentic, be honest, be vulnerable. That's a superpower, to be vulnerable, especially with those you love and you've chosen to be in a relationship with. You've been with them for years. Why not? Sit them down and be like, hey, you know what? I realized something today. I haven't been truly honest and upfront about my needs, my wants, desires, my hopes for the future, things I've been dreaming of. This is the authentic me. I just want to share that with you. I want to invite you to see the rest of me. See what happens. You might start a conversation and realize that your partner also has parts of them that they would love for you to see also. This is a beautiful way to find deeper connection, even with your children, your family members, your siblings, cousins, best friends. Be authentic. Let people in to see all of you, and you might be surprised just how deep these relationships have the potential to go. So that's the word of the day. Be authentic, be genuine. At the end of the day, laugh as hard as you can, love as deeply as you can, and live this life to the fullest. I'm gonna see y'all tonight. The game against the Pacers. Go Pistons.